Buckle up, everybody, because today we're going on a wild ride to Mars. Love it. We're going to talk about Elon Musk's latest brainwave. It's always a fascinating place to be. Seriously, though, he's sending Tesla Cybertrucks and Optimus robots to the Red Planet as the first wave of exploration. He's calling it the first payload, right?
Exactly. So let's unpack these juicy details.
What's our mission for this deep dive? We need to figure out what Musk is really aiming for and what this could actually look like if it ever happens. It's a big if. But hey, dreaming big is part of the fun. Let's start with the absolute audacity of this idea, Cybertrucks on Mars. I mean, those things are built for cruising down the highway, not bouncing around on another planet. You got to give Musk credit for thinking outside the box.
For sure. But this isn't just some random idea. This ties into his whole Mars colonization plan with SpaceX.
Absolutely. This is another piece of that puzzle. Musk has been obsessed with Mars for years, and SpaceX is his vehicle to get there.
And the sources mentioned tweaking the Cybertruck for Mars, right?
Yeah, they're talking about a bigger battery.
But what does that even mean in terms of actual tech?
A bigger battery is kind of vague, isn't it?
Think about it. We're talking about a vehicle that needs to explore a whole planet, handle crazy temperature swings, and maybe even power a Martian base camp.
Exactly. The batteries we have now, even the super advanced ones, wouldn't last a day on Mars. We need a whole new level of battery tech.
Like what? More power? Longer lifespan?
Both, and then some. We need batteries with insane energy density so they can hold a massive charge, but also be compact enough to fit in a vehicle. Plus, they've got to be super durable to survive those Martian conditions.
So it's not just about swapping in a bigger battery. It's about inventing a whole new kind of battery.
Exactly. We're talking next-level energy storage solutions, and that's just one part of the equation.
Right. Then there's the whole charging situation.
Exactly. How do you juice up an electric vehicle on Mars?
I mean, solar panels make sense, but Mars is known for those crazy dust storms that could easily block out the sun for days.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. So maybe we're looking at some compact and safe nuclear reactor to power a base and recharge vehicles?
Nuclear on Mars? Whoa.
That opens a whole can of worms.
For sure. It's a huge challenge with tons of technical and ethical considerations.
Okay, so we've got the power situation, which is already mind-blowing, but there's also the whole thing about Optimus robots tagging along with the Cybertrucks.
What are those again?
Yes, Optimus, Musk's vision for a humanoid robot, basically a general-purpose worker that can do all sorts of tasks.
Like a robot handyman?
Even more than that. I envision robots building habitats, setting up solar panels, or even doing dangerous stuff like exploring caves or collecting samples.
They'd be like Martian pioneers, prepping the way for humans.
Exactly. In that harsh Martian environment, robots would be essential for tasks that are too risky or difficult for humans, at least in the early stages.
Makes sense.
But it's not like we're just sending a few robots and calling it a day.
Right, this whole first payload concept suggests a much larger plan.
A stepping stone to something much grander, a full-blown Martian colony.
Wow, so we're talking about humans actually living on Mars?
That's the game!
And that's where things get really complicated.
Setting up a self-sustaining human presence on another planet is like the ultimate challenge.
We're talking about building airtight habitats, figuring out how to grow food, managing water and oxygen, and dealing with waste.
And don't forget the whole psychological aspect of being stuck on a desolate planet millions of miles from home.
Oh yeah, that's huge. The mental and emotional toll of living in such an isolated and extreme environment would be immense.
We'd need to think about creating artificial gravity for long-term health and setting up communication systems so people can stay connected to loved ones back on Earth.
It's crazy to think about all the pieces that have to fall into place for this to even be remotely possible.
It's a monumental undertaking.
But hey, that's what makes it so exciting, right? Pushing the boundaries of what humanity is capable of.
So to sum it all up, what are the key takeaways from this Martian adventure?
First, Musk is shooting for the stars as always. The idea of a Mars-ready Cybertruck is fascinating, especially concerning the energy questions.
It really highlights how much we still need to figure out about living and working on another planet.
And the whole Optimus angle shows just how important robots will be in space exploration. They can do so much that would be dangerous or impossible for humans.
Absolutely.
But let's not forget the biggest hurdle of all, actually establishing a human colony on Mars. It's a massive challenge, technically and ethically.
You name it. It really makes you question what our role should be as we venture further into the cosmos.
It sure does.
Here's something for everyone to ponder. If we do manage to put Cybertrucks and robots on Mars, what kind of footprint are we leaving on another world? What does it say about us as a species?
That's definitely food for thought.
Absolutely. Until next time, everyone, keep looking up.
And keep dreaming big!